Hey everyone, welcome back. We are still in Mexico, as you can see, but I see there's some drama happening back home, so we thought we would just do a little video before we head out to explore.
Yeah, we got it this morning, we checked our political news, and lo and behold, what did we see? We see that Pierre Poilievre penned a letter to Mark Carney right before his meeting with Donald Trump. And let me tell you, it's a doozy.
Imagine your coworker sending you a performance review before your big presentation and then CCing the entire media.
It's less constructive feedback and more, "Dear diary, I'm still mad that someone else got the job."
It's a public stunt dressed up as concern that's written for headlines instead of progress.
Here is what happened. Mark Carney's heading to Washington to meet Donald Trump again, round 2 of trade talks.
Meanwhile, Poilievre decided this was the perfect moment to tell Canadians that Carney has failed on tariffs.
Right, because tariffs are totally fixed with a pen and a pout.
The man literally accused Carney of losing because Trump doubled tariffs. Pierre, Trump's tariffs are entirely his personality. You don't negotiate with that. You just try to protect your people.
Yeah, you can't exactly elbow drop your way through a trade deal.
Poilievre's letter says Carney promised elbows up but caved.
Which is absolutely hilarious coming from a guy who hasn't negotiated a single international trade agreement in his life.
Or run a budget or met a global leader without turning it into a campaign rally about how only he can fix everything.
And the best part of it, he offered to help. You know, like the guy who breaks the coffee machine and then offers to fix it with duct tape.
Let me talk to Trump for you. Sure, what could go wrong? He'd probably start by saying, "Mr. President, I love your tariffs. They're very strong, very manly."
And here's the thing, despite all the noise, Canada still has one of the lowest effective tariff rates in the world. Most of our exports to the US are still tariff-free under CUSMA.
And those Section 232 tariffs, they hit everyone, even Trump's supposed friends like the UK, Japan, and even Israel.
When your trade policy punishes your allies harder than your enemies, maybe the problem isn't the tariffs. It's plain old wannabe world domination energy.
So saying Carney lost is like blaming the goalie because the other team keeps cheating.
So true. Carney is in the room. He's negotiating from strength and keeping Canada's interests front and center.
Sources say Carney's not walking into the White House empty either. This time, he's prepared.
Ottawa's aiming for steel tariff relief. And think about it. Carney wouldn't have scheduled another meeting if there wasn't some motion, right? He's going in with a strategy.
Meanwhile, Pierre's idea of strategy is to write an angry letter and hope that CBC reads it on air, which they did. Mission accomplished. Congratulations, CBC. You've pandered to Pierre again.
Somewhere, his communications team is popping champagne going, "We trended, boss."
The man who says, "Put Canada ahead of party," just sent a partisan hit job to undermine Canada's trade negotiations.
Well, Carney's actually out there fighting for Canadian jobs.
Imagine if every time Canada went into talks, the opposition leader mailed a complaint to the host country first.
"Dear foreign power, ignore our prime minister. I'd do it cheaper and with fewer vowels." You know, Canada deserves better than a backseat negotiator with a megaphone.
Meanwhile, Pierre's letter isn't about helping the country, it's about undercutting it. When you blast your own prime minister in the middle of a trade negotiation, it weakens Canada's position. It's political sabotage.
And it's getting hard to ignore who benefits from the sabotage. Every time Poilievre takes a swing at Mark Carney, the MAGA crowd in Washington cheers a little louder.
He's not fighting Trump's tariffs, he's amplifying Trump's message.
And remember, this is the same guy who refuses to get the national security clearance required for top-level briefings. The same clearance every serious party leader accepts.
And if you missed yesterday's episode, we broke down all the ways Pierre keeps lying to Canadians. You know, about the economy, about tariffs, about who he's really working for.
Watch that breakdown after this one, and once you see it, you'll understand how this letter starts to look less like concern and more like coordination.
So here's what we're hearing about this White House meeting. The Canadian delegation isn't walking in expecting miracles, but a little movement would be nice.
Partial relief from those brutal steel tariffs is the realistic goal. If Carney can get that, it could open the door for other sectors to start rolling back as well.
And remember, the invite actually came from Trump himself after a quick exchange at the UN General Assembly in New York last month. What started as a casual chat turned into a formal White House meeting.
And this is Carney's second trip to Washington since taking office, proof he's not shying away from tough conversations and proof that he's earned enough respect to get called back by the most unpredictable man on earth.
No one's expecting a full trade deal announcement, but progress on steel would set a precedent for everything else.
Inside Ottawa, they're calling this a relationship-building mission, which is code for rebuilding trust, lowering the temperature, and reminding Trump that Canada is a partner, not a prop.
It's risky. The man changes his mind faster than he changes social media platforms.
But this is what leadership looks like. Staying calm and protecting Canadians, even when the other side's on a hot mic talking about making us the 51st state.
That's the real story this week. While others play politics, Carney's taking the hit so Canada can keep trading, building, and holding the line.
However this meeting plays out, one thing is clear. Canada's holding its own on the world stage again.
And we'll be right here regularly, no matter where in the world we are, to break it down. We will tell you what comes next, the wins, the spin, and the truth in between.
We'll keep following the trade talks and the fallout. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you don't miss what happens next.
And if you want the facts behind the headlines, our Substack has all the sources and the context, and it's free to read. No algorithms and no spin.
And if you want to keep this channel independent, check out our merch store or join the A-Team. Your name will go right here while we chat at the end of each episode. It's how we keep the coffee flowing over here.
And remember, Canada's stronger when we've got each other's back. No matter which side we're on, we're always putting Canada first.
See you next time.